Welcome to Universal Astrology. My name is Kayleen of Loving Life with Light, and you are joining me for an episode of Universal Astrology on the 3rd of September 2020. Oh boy. So, yesterday had definitely had some activity to it. I looked last night to see a 6.8 earthquake in South America and some other stuff happening. We are definitely going to be hit by a bit of a solar storm starting tomorrow and into the weekend, lasting a couple of days. So chances are there'll be a little bit of a research episode some point either today or tomorrow on that. So with that noted, if you want to learn more, just go over to Noah's space weather news. You can also check out Space Weather Woman and Suspicious Observers, another channel that really does good coverage of this stuff too, and I just really enjoy watching, is a YouTube channel called Wages World. So if you enjoy space weather and want to learn more about it and get the inside science scoop and also the just plain observers side of it, kind of like what I'm doing, then those are some resources for you in that regard to kind of prepare for the solar storm. Getting into the astrology today, it's a Thursday, so that means it's ruled by Jupiter. And interesting enough, the two main rulers of today are Mars and Jupiter. So kind of a double whammy with Jupiter. Also, it being in Sagittarius, a fire sign, we're still in a fire elemental ruling phase here. This is going on several days in a row where fire is being ruled just basically as soon as the sun came into Leo. Fire has been definitely in all kinds of things. All the elements are on the board today except for I think it's air. Let's see. Let me see on my side here. Yeah, air is -3, so it's almost in the game, but not quite. So I thought about clicking it on, but you know what? It is still in the negative, so we're gonna hide it for now. So, kind of the daily scope. That gives you a general idea just in itself. We're still in the energy of fire, or it's Jupiter and Mars. Jupiter is jolly, go lucky, you can do it, expanding energy. So we might feel like we can do it, like we've got it going on. This is a good day to go get things done and grow and progress through the projects. Not just take the list of to-dos, but add to that to-do list and expand on ideas that you've already had. Take risks in places that you might not normally expand to, or take the time to investigate and just kind of look in all directions with no limitations. So it's very kind of Jupiter has this very kind of limitless energy to it, which is very, very opposing to the Saturn energy. However, these two are what's in between Saturn and Jupiter's energy right now is Pluto. It's personal power. It's a personal choice. You can either be very limitless with the Jupiter energy in Sagittarius, or on the other side, you can be very restricted, responsible, and able to do what you have to do. And with those limits, keep to the personal responsibility and the decisions that you've made. So we've got this energy of that we can choose from, and it's up to the personal power within. This is opposing Venus in Cancer. So Venus is coming into the energy of Cancer a little bit more. We're feeling a little bit more and out of the mind energy of Gemini now at just 2 degrees. So we're going to, as this progresses through this next month, feel more. So what else do we have going on here? We still have this this shape that we covered quite a bit yesterday, and this is between Mars, Venus, and Saturn. So this is, well, you can just watch yesterday's episode for more about that. In the same kind of motion, though, at least at the moment of this chart, which is 10 a.m. PST time, my time. So in UTC, this chart would be for about 5 p.m. The moon is opposing Mercury. And we've got to remember this is a geocentric chart that we're looking at. So moon, Earth, Mercury. So let's click over to full screen and we'll look at this in the sky. And while this loads, I'm gonna double check the signs that we're looking in. So what we're looking at, since again this is Earth-centered, is the moon, Earth, Mercury. So this may bring about some things. Now, what kind of things might this bring about? So to consider this, Mercury has just entered into Virgo today. So Virgo's at, or Mercury's at 1 degrees in Virgo. So Virgo has that energy of the caregiver, the nurturer, the mother, which is the opposite of Pisces. And so the historical, or the myth and the energy of the opposites of Virgo and Pisces goes back to Pisces being the age of that was initiated by Jesus Christ and the Bible and all of that. That all began, and we have been in the age of Pisces since. The opposing nature of that energy is Virgo, the Virgin, Mary. Okay, so that's where a lot of that comes from, especially Virgo being called the Virgin. In other cases, Virgo can be looked at as the Lamb. They all have their different natures of things. So that's the opposite that we're considering. This isn't quite wouldn't be considered any kind of gateway between these signs to me. More of a gateway is this Mars situation. Mars, these are the gateways here, between Aries and Pisces, Libra and Virgo, less or so. But the major gateway usually is considered between this Sagittarius and Capricorn area and Gemini and Cancer. And there's a lot of local space and mythical reason for that in spiritual science. So this squished together with Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury probably isn't something that the solar system is going to feel much. It's probably something that Earth is going to feel. So this may, with the position that the moon is in behind us after the full moon was last night, so we're in the first phase after that, and Mercury has a lot of sway over the solar events that occur. Many of the solar flares, many of the Carrington type events have lineups with multiple planets or conjunctions and alignments with multiple planets that have Earth involved, and all of them involve Mercury. So Mercury is a major player in lining everything up as a strike or whatever activity is brewing in the Earth's field and all the fields within the solar system through the sun. So we may have some more stuff go on. At the moment this is happening, the moon is on the dark side of the planet, obviously, over top of Japan. This makes me want to pull up USGS right now, right? And then we're facing Mercury at the moment. The hope here, though, is that Mercury is trying over to Saturn, looks like. Let's double check. Yes, trine over to Saturn. So Mercury of mind, in Virgo energy of nurturing, caring for, and getting things accomplished, is trining over that Saturn that's opposing Venus, that's in a very emotional place, or entering a very emotional place. So a lot of us are entering into this opposing nature with Saturn of having to make decisions. We're at a major gateway here. We're with Mars. And yeah, Brian is connecting me about the full moon. It wasn't technically last night, it was the night before. But the full moon and the new moon phases take several days to really escape that look and feel of that energy. Whereas the other phases seem to go by quicker. And if you look at moon phase calendars and things, a full moon can last up to 3 days in almost full luminance. So we're gauging between 98% or 100% illuminated, where then it moves on to a new phase. So the new moon and the full moon cycle can technically, in a luminescence of how much percent of light is there, can last a couple of days. So yesterday was still like ridiculously illuminated. Right now it's at 97.9. So right now we're at only 98%, even though the full moon was 2 days ago. So this is just a slow, it's a slow off. And that can vary, but yeah, it was Brep this morning. Yeah, he went fishing this morning. So yeah, so this trine over from Mercury to nurture Saturn in another earth sign of Capricorn. So earth energy of getting things done in the physical is definitely our mind is definitely ready for that physical experience. And definitely it's okay with our mind to just go ahead and get dirty and get things done. Get your hands on it. Is the kind of feeling that I get from this Mercury Virgo trine over to Saturn Capricorn. It's just like, okay, what do we need to do? Let's get our hands dirty. Let's get in there and get it done. And we can even do it together. Like, we don't even have to separate and I'll do this and you do that. Let's just both get in and go. And is really backing this whole setup here. And the other thing that I notice is that the moon in Pisces is also is making a trine over to Venus, because it's also in a water sign. The moon has been going through its full moon phase was in Pisces, so it's getting ready to get out, right, and go on to a new sign, but it's kind of hanging in there for a minute because it's making over a trine over to Venus in Cancer. So they're kind of helping each other out in this mentality. Now, the moon has a lot to do with our emotional nature, and Venus is entering a very emotional sign of Cancer. So that helps, right? That can help stabilize a very emotional, heartfelt time with the moon being in Pisces. Pisces is a very airy, dreamy, mysterious sign. So our emotions truly in Pisces might have a more dreamy aspect to them, or a more fantasy type feel. Like, I know for me right now, I just moved back to my grandma's house, so I'm kind of here, but I'm also kind of like not quite sunken in to actually being here from the move a couple of days ago. So it's like, I know that I'm here and I'm very familiar with this territory. I've lived here before, but it's still, there's so much time that has passed. So there's still a part of me that's trying to catch up with the time that I last lived here, which when I was a teenager. So there's just kind of this emotional, I'm happy to be here, but I'm not quite grounded. And that would be the moon in Pisces. Trining over to Venus in the heart center, of just trying to make sense of it, trying to find grounding while maintaining an emotional feel that works and to stay balanced. I think that's, well, and this, then I guess the other one to note then would be the moon opposing the mind in Virgo. So this kind of throws a wrench into everything that I just said, right? This would be probably the one that I would struggle with the most, is the moon being in Pisces, has this kind of floating atmosphere. This is definitely opposing Mercury in Virgo, who is just ready to go, ready to do things and get things done. So we have this very emotional, dreamy nature, which is really throwing me off, right? It doesn't take much to like throw me off my balance, even though I'm trying to maintain my balance like constantly the last 24 hours, right? I'm trying to stay, trying to be, I'm trying to, it's not working because it doesn't take much for me to like, so I don't know, maybe I'm not the only one, probably not with this setup. So that's a little bit about what I see about the astrology today. I wish that I had more time to cover the stuff that's going on in space. I just have lots to do in my own life, so I'm gonna keep on going. I am planning out, starting soon, a 24-hour stream where I will set up the astrology stuff that I normally share and set it to tick over every hour, so that by coming to the Twitch stream, you can always see the current astrology chart that's going on. You can always see the cartography for the current day, which is that map that has the lines of where the planets actually are traveling over. And some different tools like that, the moon phase, and just different things, so that anyone can come to this Universal Astrology Live TV and actually check the astrology, whether I'm here talking about it or not. And along with the daily episodes, keeping the daily episodes up between, 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes a day. I'm going to really try and keep that up while I kind of get the rest of my life started and my husband starts work. So a little bit of a shuffle. I may have to move the time of these episodes being recorded to an earlier time, which means that they would be uploaded earlier and probably just shared to Facebook by like 10. Because more, yeah, so I might have to do some shuffling, so just hang in there with me. I will definitely be updating whatever I do figure out for my schedule on my Facebook page. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, that's facebook.com/lovelifewlight. All right, we'll see you there. Thanks for joining with me, and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode. And stay safe.